So welcome, Sander. I'm very excited to have you here.
Thank you very much.
I remember first time we met. It was about 3 years ago on this veranda here in KENDRIS office in Larnaca. And there were lots of people. And I remember even at that time that I was struck of your entrepreneurial energy and your ideas. And it was very impressive at that time.
It's been quite a journey. And
It's been lovely to follow your journey. It has been very nice to see it.
It's been fun.
I saw you present yourself on LinkedIn as you are driving private equity's future forward with tokenization, and you are building a global digital investor community. Tell us more.
Yeah, so what we try to accomplish at Finpeers is basically using modern technology first and foremost, and then add the new way of collaboration. And what we do, we use tokenization to package securities, and because of the blockchain, you are allowed to do fractional ownership. And in this way, you can basically open up the whole investment opportunities for a lot of people with on a very low cost. So basically, what we have done is we have looked into where is the world moving. And when you look at how much of the financial market today that are private compared to public, and most people only have access to the public market. And since early 2000, it's 40% less public companies available. And it's the liquidity on the stock exchange for smaller companies are also relatively low. And you see the big institutions and pension funds, they're all moving in the direction of private equity. And because of the illiquidity and long-term thinking, the return has been significantly better as well. So we think that more people should have access to that asset class. And we think we do that in the best possible way by including new technology and community building.
Sounds absolutely marvelous. Taking the first step towards something or pushing development sounds very nice, and it usually gives very much return afterwards, but it's not always an easy journey.
No, I don't think if I would have gone the easy path. First of all, I don't think I'm smart enough to go the easy path. I think that's a double-edged sword. But no, it's definitely not easy. And but again, I think you do it because you're motivated by the mission and vision itself, and not necessarily that it's going to be easy or you are getting the reward. I mean, for me, capital always follows results. And that's something I've seen, and from my experience from sports as well. Like, if you are the best in what you do, you get rewarded.
I like that. I will say that to my son. If you're the best in what you do, you will get rewarded. That's a good message. I know that you, as you said to me prior to this interview, you said that you are traveling 180 days per year. So you are very internationally traveled, and you work in many countries and you meet people in many countries. And you are specifically work a lot with Cyprus and Switzerland. Yes. So where are we now in Cyprus and Switzerland in accepting tokenization, both as an idea, but also in practice? And what do we need to do to get better and closer to your vision?
I think when we first moved to Switzerland, we of course have read a lot about their view on crypto, their view on tokenization, and how they regulate their financial market when it comes to digital assets. And a very big surprise for me was that most of it is true. Like in Switzerland today, where I live in Lugano, we can pay with Bitcoin. We can pay with stable coins. We have our own stable coin in the city.
Pay like in the kiosk?
Yeah. You can go to you can buy groceries, you can pay your taxes with Bitcoin. It's really, really pushing forward, and they are at least top 3 in the world when it comes to jurisdictions. When it comes to EU, that's not the case yet, but I don't think necessarily that it will stay like that forever. But the problem with EU is that it's a big monster. It's like very hard to change, and the central bank is super strong. They don't have like lots of incentives to necessarily be the most innovative country or innovative group in the world, but they follow on when they see success. And I think now when you see Singapore and Switzerland and all the progress they have done and how well it's working and how well the investors are protected, I think we will see lots of change in EU as well. And Cyprus is way more digital than, for example, Italy. So I think like Cyprus can really like be a place where a lot of crypto and blockchain projects are going to be in the future.
We talked also just before about you maybe wanting to choose Cyprus as a home just because of its agility.
So I think for younger people that want things to move in a faster pace, I think maybe Cyprus could be combined with the weather, combined with the location. We know lots of exciting things are happening in Dubai, in Asia. It's like a little bit closer than like in the center of Europe.
Finpeers. You're working hard on Finpeers right now. What is Finpeers doing?
Yeah, so basically what we are doing is we are packaging securities, focusing on private equity and real estate into security token with tokenization. And what I mean by that is that we are basically, when I speak with people about tokenization, many people think it's like, okay, then it's an unregulated, like free to do whatever you want thing. But that's not the case in Switzerland. If it's a security, it's a security. So what we do, we just digitalize the ownership with full KYC and AML. So when we digitalize the ownership, you now have everything on the blockchain. And since the blockchain can be accessed from anywhere, you can also use digital currency to do fundraise. Since all the transactions are recorded, you can also have automatic cap table management. You can have all the governance in the company, like capital increases, secondary trading, all can be programmable into the ownership. So the operational expenses of how you manage a SPV or a fund could drastically be lower than how you do it with pen and paper and Excel, or of course some other software for managing your company. So yeah.
Is that how you want to, your vision of having equal opportunity?
Yeah.
Is that how your vision filters down in Finpeers?
Yes. But in Finpeers, we also looked into, okay, most of the private equity and real estate world is owned by institutions. So what we decided to do is that we can't go directly to retail day one. We need to do it together with family offices and high net worth individuals. So that's basically what we do. And since the technology is ready, when we have enough liquidity and we see this works, we will also invite in more people. And we think that is a way to make a more efficient market first of all, and then giving more people access.
So let's say that you could decide completely what's going to happen in Europe, in this part of the industry. Name 3 things that you think we should do immediately.
First, regulate the underlying assets, not the technology. So what I mean by that is if it's a security, it's a security. Even if it's a token or a paper, it should be regulated as what it is. So if it's a security, it should be a security. The second thing is that I would say, since the private market has grown so fast and all the institutionals are buying that asset class, we still have professional and non-professional investor categorizations that excludes a lot of the people from the market. And the only access you get is through fund of funds, which are very, very expensive. And basically the premium is taken away from you. So I would say, like, if you allow your pension fund to invest in it, you should also allow normal people. Because if you can buy stocks and crypto, why shouldn't you be allowed to buy private equity? So that would be like, okay, start to look into why is private equity so exclusive? Why can't normal people invest into infrastructure projects. And the third thing I would say, but that's more on the educational level. We have to question our government more. We have to. I think Europeans have started to be more followers than innovators. We have to do stuff. We have to change things. We have to create the world we want to live in the future, and not wait for the government to fix it for us. And we have to shrink in the government sizes in most European big countries.
Can you name one thing that KENDRIS has helped you achieve easier through this time?
Yeah, clarity. For us, working with KENDRIS makes it very easy because we know we have a partner that we always can ask and trust. We know that, at least from our perspective, it feels very unbiased, and it feels like you're doing what's in best interest of the client, and by that you get paid later by loyal customers and happy customers. So I would say clarity, especially when you're moving to a new country, you need partners you can trust, and the clarity is what makes everything more efficient, and also you feel more protected. I think KENDRIS is by far the best we have worked with when it comes to clarity.
Thank you very, very much, Sanders.
Thank
you.
And
I'm very much to look forward to work with you in the next 5-10 years, achieve your 3 goals.
Yeah, let's do that.
And be part of your journey.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.